Tom comes over to me and he's like, Miles, like, it looks, you cut your finger. Are you going to be able to go on?
Hi, Miles. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Well, congratulations. I saw the film on Friday and I was blown away
Thank you.
by the movie. So for you, I saw the behind the scenes of you guys going up in the air in the fighter jets. I'm amazed that you guys were able to do that, and you had to operate your own camera. So what was that like, and what was your first thought after you went up the first time?
I mean, it was, yeah, it was a lot. It was, and also it was just a lot of things being thrown at us at once because we had already done a good amount of flight training, but the first time that we actually filmed in the movie, it was a big learning curve because it's hard enough to keep track of all the things you're trying to do acting wise and also cinematography wise and also continuity wise. You really do have to keep a lot of balls up in the air, but also, you got to remember, you're doing all of these different flight maneuvers and it's so specific and you need to really know what both hands are doing to simulate like you're flying this thing. So it was incredibly detail oriented, but I mean, I think I'm really proud of all the actors that were a part of this thing because it was no small feat. And I personally know how much work that it takes to be able to do it. So I'm just really proud to be a part of this group.
Yeah, hats off. I mean, the emotion was there, the thrills were there, and just the fact that you guys were able to do this, and also keep in mind that you're acting.
And not throw up on camera.
Yeah.
A lot of people were throwing up, but you always have to make sure you cut before you do that. Otherwise, actually, one of the actors, though, I think it was Danny, was because you would shoot a sequence and then you would come back and you would watch it in front of everybody with all the real pilots, the Top Gun instructors, and then Tom and Joe and Jerry and everybody. And you just have to watch your footage in front of all these people who do it professionally. And in one of the clips, Danny puked like into his hand. I don't know. It was disgusting. And then we watched, and then we had to watch it in front of everybody. It was pretty funny.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those faces, the G's pulling at your faces, that was real. I mean, that was no acting
No,
feat, right?
no, not at all. I mean, I feel like you can act a lot of different things, but acting gravitational force, I think, is something that's a little bit out of your wheelhouse.
Right. And so in the sequel, you play Goose's son, who's also a fighter pilot named Rooster.
Uh-huh.
And what I really liked about your character was that he was his own person, and kind of like Tom, where he's haunted about Goose's death. Your character is a little haunted too. You don't have that, you're not fully confident in
Right.
yourself because of that knowledge, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's what really intrigued me is kind of the like you said, a little bit of the doubt. The past people are projecting that onto Rooster just the first time he walks, into the frame because people know what happened, to his dad. And so you wonder about kind of, you kind of know what this person's carrying a little bit with them, but also, to kind of define this character on his own terms. And, that's what makes for good drama, I think, is the doubt, which leads to suspense, which leads to tension, which leads to a moment where it's going to be a make or break moment for this character. And so, yeah, I just loved it. And I loved working with Tom.
So coming in, what was like the one piece of advice Tom gave you that kind of stuck in your head the whole time?
Um, I think I don't know, man, just do it. I remember there was one scene where my character and Glenn Powell's character, we get into a bit of a tussle. And the way my hand position was when something happened, like I cut my finger open a little bit and I was kind of bleeding and they're like, all right, cut. And we're taking our time now, looking at, and Tom comes over to me and he's like, Miles, like, it looks, you cut your finger. Are you going to be able to go on? And I'm like, yeah, Tom, yeah, I think so. I just got to put a Band-Aid on it. He's like, because, when I shot Mission Impossible, I jumped across the building, completely powdered my ankle, and then I still kept filming the rest of the day. So
My
it was, so I mean, yeah, and I mean, Tom just, he really does just motivate everybody to excel and to just keep going. But he's just really inspiring.
That is hilarious. That I was thinking of that as soon as you told me the story. I was like, oh no, does he bring that up? Because it's on tape. It's on
Yeah,
video.
yeah.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Okay, so if you could describe Tom in one word, what would you choose?
Mm, I mean, movie star hyphen, relentless, unstoppable. That's the word. Unstoppable is the word.
So when you think about him and what he does on his films, he's a daredevil, essentially,
Oh yeah,
right?
man. He's certainly, if you're going to watch a Tom Cruise movie, at least in this world, because he certainly has done, I mean, his career, the performances he's done is just really, really remarkable. But for these kind of big popcorn movies, there's rarely ever any CGI. For the most part, Tom is just putting the camera, he's putting the audience right in the front seat. And so it's such a visceral experience because you're watching a human being doing these things. It's not, it seems outside the realm of possibility, but we know for a fact that Tom is actually doing these things.
And I'm also enjoying watching you on The Offer. It's
Oh, thank
crazy.
you.
That
Yeah.
movie is crazy. I mean, I knew some of the stuff behind the scenes stuff, but my God, this character that you're playing, he was a deal maker, right? I mean, he pretty much pulled it off.
Yeah, I mean, Al's, was a wheeler dealer. He was a guy that really got kind of thrown to the wolves and having to produce a movie that really had no business ever getting made. When you look at all the obstacles that they overcame, and with Al kind of front and center, it's just, yeah, it's really, I felt the same way when I read the script. I was like, no way. And then I would look it up or I'd talk to Al and, sure enough, those are the facts.
I did my research. I was like, oh, this is real. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so what did you take away from that film? Did you have a new appreciation for what it takes behind the scenes to get something made?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And Al was the last sole recipient of the Best Picture Oscar, and nowadays you have an entire room full of people, so many producers on a gig to be able to get these things done, because it really is kind of impossible for one person to do it. But yeah, it's just that kind of, if you really believe in something and you believe in, if you're gonna fight for it. And so I just have an immense amount of respect for, especially in this business, when you receive so many no's, and it's really tough. I really admire the way Al carried himself and what he was able to accomplish.
Well, great. Great roles, these two roles for you. So
Thank you.
congratulations.
Appreciate it.